I must admit I have a vulnerability for hollow and all that is born with. We were to forgive you now. Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said... The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found... I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. Probably very... So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here, or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case... Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and it was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, and... Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. Attract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce... See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts. I would spell it out for you, but when I start spelling, I lose track. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a... But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial cells into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation... Oh no, I doubt your brain would be so unreasonable. It already knows the trick of it, you see. Doesn't need... If you become friends or exist in an uneasy truce with weapons aimed at each other, it would unlock... Well, once the think tank was dealt with, of course. Your brain is a responsible sort. Doesn't want mad science... Oh, I don't think... My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a... The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency and the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a... In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderers... They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank. Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, and the get me the things to cat. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so... You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well... rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so. Yeah. Oh, I tried that already. Might have contributed. Oh, intriguing. I've never been... Well, how should we begin? Whoa, have they not constructed themselves yet? That's a bit... They can assemble themselves from floor panels and minion... Hmm? Whoa, did I... Indeed, the, goodbye... Electrons attached to the...
Well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been? Crawling... Ah, lovely. Figured... Oh, had I? What exactly will you do if I don't? Not put me back in that cranial dungeon? You... You're a monster! A direct... After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were... Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage, and... I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely in... I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly... Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity... I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is... Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and... Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot. Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it? Indeed, quite the conundrum. How do you suppose... I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improvement. It's not that I didn't like being in your head, you understand. As far as heads go... Well then, I suppose this is goodbye. And you believe them? Really? I know you will. Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be there. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead. Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan? Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
They said I was mad. Preposterous. Not an angry bone in my body. Oh, I see you and your... I hypothesize after the indignant frequencies my receptors had, recepted. If I recall, I had a plan that was working, whatever it was. I wasn't trying to kill them. Blast, I probably wrote it down. Something ingenious and needlessly complicated, I expect. I may have already told you. I forgot I had forgotten pencils until one day I found one. Well, you could try and appeal to their humanity. That's a tired cliche. And really, when they were humans, they weren't very good humans. Well, there's many things they have forgotten, sitting in their bowls. Friendship, the thrill of discovery, love, masturbation, the usual. Much like your brain, I am certain there is something. A wise man once said, "The eyes do more than see." Or, if not, you can always make them succumb. Then you came along, and bravery and/or desperation trumped that little idea. Back to the drawing. Oh, tell them I'm still alive. We had a nice chat, and we... Or you could kill me and lie about... And if you are partial to lying and deception, well, you could tell them they're more than a little gullible. Better make it convincing. And if you speak of me, please try and make me look good. Indeed.